Scatically Nerdy is a podcast made by nerds for nerds. This podcast is made by adults, for adults, and children with bad parents. Adult language will be used and adult situations may arise. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chaotically Nerdy. On this week's episode is me, Tyler.
And me, Jarrett.
And me, Ethan.
And this week, we're going to be talking about...
Dune.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Part 1.
Da Dune.
The Dune.
Not the old one. The newest one. Not newest,
There
because
you go.
that was Part 2.
Hold it up.
I totally watched the wrong movie. That was so long.
It was a movie? I thought it was the TV series.
Shit, I read the books.
No, it was not the TV series.
Oh,
I read all the books. I don't know what I'm going to do. No,
Oh,
no, I watched.
I have
watched-
so much information.
Yeah,
How
you
am I
do.
going to crank this into an hour?
I'm so pale now.
I haven't seen the sun. It's been so long.
No, I've watched all of the Dune stuff. So
Well, good. You can have the backstory information for me, because I sure as shit don't have any.
there's not any backstory information. Not really. Some in the books, but no.
Not enough.
No.
Gotcha. So first up, notable actors, because there is a shitload of big name actors in this show.
At
Movie.
least one.
Movie.
Well, it's easier to say who's not. Probably.
You got good old Timothy Chalamet.
Timothée
Everyone's
Chalamet
new
Bing.
favorite.
Yeah, he really
It's
is.
like
Why does everybody like the Twinkie boys?
Willy Wonka.
New favorite. I've been watching it since like 2017 when he was in Lady Bird.
He's new favorite since
He
like
is new.
like a year and a half ago. He's been in every.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of shit.
I blame the Kardashians. That's about the time.
You
That's,
know-
that's about the time he started fucking one. So
It's probably not wrong. They probably pull some strings. But there's also Oscar Isaac. My leg just cramped and that hurt like a motherfucker. It took everything. That's why I had to say it, because I about screamed. Jason Momoa is also in it, which was,
He was good.
yeah.
oh yeah,
It's just interesting to see him.
Duncan, Idaho.
What a dumb ass name.
It's dumb as
There's
fuck.
some bad names
There
in
is
Dune.
some
Yeah,
bad
there's some
names.
really bad ones.
But if you think about it, there's always some bad names in something, and they make the character better. Josh Brolin as Gurney Halleck, which is also, I think, a bad name.
It's not as bad as Duncan, Idaho.
It's not.
Duncan,
I'll
Idaho.
give you that.
It's so bad.
Duncan,
it's good.
Idaho sounds like you're
Dunking some
dipping
potatoes
it.
and
Dunking
some
some
shit.
potatoes.
Yeah.
Probably not salt, but
If it were me, yeah.
I didn't realize Batista was in it. I don't know how I didn't
How
realize.
did you
I
not
did.
How do you-
realize
This
this?
is like the fourth time you've not realized Batista's in a fucking movie. I'm like, how do you not realize that's Dave Batista?
He's enormous. How did you not see him?
Because he
What's the other
stood.
movie?
He stood really still, and I didn't see him.
That's not true. That's not true at all.
Oh, y'all just don't realize I've been making that joke for years. No, I did. It's been a while since I've watched the movie, to be honest. I probably should have watched it again before we did this episode. Did I just look up part 2? No, I didn't. Okay. All right. And Zendaya's in it for a whole 2.3 seconds.
Okay. That was the biggest like catfish of all time of them
Yeah.
being like, she's over the she's on the marketing like fucking everywhere.
And she's in the last like
They did
20 minutes.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
They did press together, her and Timothée, on this movie, and they interact for literally
20
five. No, interact as in their characters interact.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe for 5
it's like
seconds.
2 different scenes.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Next up.
You're missing like all of it. Stellan
I know,
Skarsgård,
but
Javier Bardem,
Do you want me to just read
Josh
the whole
Brolin. That's what
fucking-
I'm doing.
I
You
said Josh Brolin.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
I didn't see him.
Because I said Gurney
Halleck.
Halleck.
I don't think you actually said the words Josh Brolin.
I did. I said Josh Brolin as Gurney Halleck.
There's so many others.
Well, there's like literally, I said it's easier to Rebecca Ferguson.
Yeah. Yeah.
I work with her.
They'll.
Okay.
I work with someone who has the same name.
Yeah, I think I got it.
Exact same name.
Make her change it. They all did a good job.
So, yes, they all. This was a very well acted movie. There wasn't anybody that really stood out as bad.
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
For the content we're using. Have you seen the original Dune?
No.
It's rough.
It's rough, buddy.
It's probably why I haven't watched it.
Yeah, it's an ordeal.
It makes.
I think your ink's about to fail.
That's just my friend. I don't know. Are you talking about like the?
Yeah, like the top half is like all blurry.
Yeah.
The Harkonnens are British.
Oh no, it's the whole thing.
I love my notes, especially after I haven't watched a movie in a while.
Are British.
They took over the spice production.
Canonically, actually, the Atreides are. I would not say British; they're more Scottish, but yeah.
Technically, it's,
That's why they have all names like Paul and Jessica.
Yeah.
That's why. Because they're based on like Scottish, and then all the rest of them are like,
Duncan, Idaho.
well, he's part of House of Atreides.
Yeah.
But that's why they'll have like Arabic sounding names or like French or.
There's also a lot of really weird lines that, I know they're trying to create a world that is similar to the old one, the old movie, but at the same time, they could totally. Yeah, right? All right. You could totally like try to reword those lines like desert power. Yeah.
Are you talking about like spice?
No, they said we're going to cultivate desert power. Mm-hmm. That's literally a line from the original movie, and it's a line from this. And I don't know. We could totally rephrase that to make sense.
Is that a line from the book as well?
I don't remember. Maybe. There's a lot of words in books.
Fair.
I do like the way I wrote this. This is so fucking stupid.
I told you. I was like, I'm sitting there reading. I'm like, what the fuck is he? I'm like, okay.
I have to write things stupid, so I try and remember what I'm talking about. Ethan, you want to read that one for me?
The second
The
one?
third
one.
Third one?
Is
this reverse Japan? They only want daughters.
You got that. You didn't even get to write country, man.
Let me edit this for you. Is this China? They only want daughters.
Reverse China.
Reverse China. They only want daughters.
I thought Japan only wanted sons too.
It's a law in China that you can only have one child.
I know it's like a very common.
And it's culturally a thing in Japan that they want.
Maybe that's why.
That's
it's
also
cultural.
culturally a thing here that people want sons to pass on the name.
Let it die.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
But
What is
It's
dead?
just-
Man,
as
That's what they do in China. They let it die.
yeah.
are you having a boy or an abortion?
That's pretty much it.
Wow. All right. No. This has to do with them thinking that they're implying that women of their race are more emotionally sound and more emotionally stable. So that if they have men, they don't let them learn to use this ability.
I thought it's actually like in the canon, there has never been a man that was able to use the ability.
They don't let them.
I didn't know. I thought Paul was the first to actually
Be
able to
It
use
is,
it.
but they also do not attempt to train them either.
Because he's literally the chosen one.
It's not because they don't abort their males because they need breeders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understandably.
Yeah.
Takes two to tango type thing.
But a lot of times they do like what Jessica did, and they go out and they find a mate among nobility. So that not only are they perpetuating the line of the weird sorcerer ladies,
Yeah.
Bene Gesserit.
Yeah, I actually remembered that.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
so they're not only perpetuating the line of the Jesuits, the Bene Gesserits, they're also cultivating
Power and influence.
power and influence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because the genes are stronger and dominant from the Bene Gesserits. So now they're just
like Viltrumites.
Well, we went through it. Yeah,
okay.
kind of. They are the Viltrumites of Dune.
And it was noted that at some point there would come a male, and he would be able to use the power and learn how to use the power.
I don't know if they ever say that in this movie.
Yeah, they do.
Did they say Lizan
Yeah.
Gaib?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody does.
Kezer Herzrach.
I don't remember who does.
That's the one.
It's Satarak.
I
He
can never.
is not the Itzad Satarak.
Yeah, I know.
We find that out
Yeah.
in movie 2.
Interesting. Haven't watched it yet.
We'll cover that next time.
Yeah, we'll cover that whenever we
time
do
on Dragon Ball
Dune
Z.
Part 2. They couldn't have picked a better war instrument than a bagpipe. Now that you say that they're based off of Scottish, it makes more sense.
Yeah, that's the whole point. That's why they're based off Scottish, because they have this bagpipes.
It makes more sense. But I was
It's
just
no
like,
wonder the Harkonnens want to kill them.
yeah,
They're playing bagpipes.
If
I
I was,
want to kill people who play bagpipes.
if I was fighting for that army, I would want to kill whoever's playing the bagpipes. I mean, it's just
yeah.
I really did write down some stupid shit on this.
Yeah, you did.
I can tell I watched this movie late at night.
Bug helicopters look cooler than they probably actually are.
I just feel like they wouldn't function as well as what they look.
Probably.
Probably not.
Thornicopter, they're fucking.
You did that really well.
Yeah.
It's
You
impressive.
been practicing, like in the mirror?
No.
Just no.
Hire me as a Foley artist, I guess. I don't know.
It's pretty good. That doesn't sound
I don't know.
nothing.
Is that supposed to be horses?
It was
It's sort of close. It's not
it
that
was-
far off.
It started off way worse than what it
Yeah,
ended.
the clocking later, it was all right. If you did a little bit of sound editing on it, it'd sound like it.
I get the hostility to locals, but damn, let's try not to murder one every 0.2 seconds.
What?
I'm trying to remember.
Paul and his dad, they're sitting there. They bring in, what's his name?
They bring in Javier Bardem.
Yeah, Javier Stilgar.
Stilgar. This is the entrance where he like spits,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
sharing his moisture.
sharing
Yeah.
his moisture.
And they
That's what I'm gonna say from now on.
literally drew their weapons on him like 6 times in that little, like, he walks too close. They're like, get back. And then he spits and they're like, you're going to die. It's like,
Fuck you.
Yeah,
very-
Josh Brolin's really jumping the gun on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's got a real itchy trigger finger.
yeah, he does.
He's like, I'm ready to shoot some locals.
It's been like a week. I haven't killed anybody.
That's just Josh Brolin in every movie he's in now. Are you Fremen? Question mark to the doctor that helps most of the movie because she has the blue eyes. Isn't that a thing with the Fremen?
That
Or
is,
That is an effect of the spice.
yeah, that's a
Okay.
consumption of
so
spice.
but
So
Fremen are more
theoretically,
likely.
any of them that live there long enough would probably get blue eyes
Okay,
because
it's just in the air. Yeah.
gotcha. I didn't know if it was something to that or if it was
Yeah.
just hereditary.
But yeah, she is a
for-
Fremen.
Yeah. Well, I assumed she was because of the eyes. Now it makes more sense. That
She was also wearing the
Fremen.
garb
Yeah.
and stuff.
Also, that character in the book is Zendaya's father. They gender swapped it,
Ah,
but I don't know if
you don't think it's Zendaya's mother?
it's not stated. So
I don't know.
There was a whole ass throat singing ceremony, which again, we just picked some weird.
That has something to do with the book, and I don't remember what it is.
it is weird though.
Well, throat singing generally is
weird.
kind of strange. It sounds cool.
It was like I was like, oh, these guys are
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Well, they are. They're like religious zealots
Yeah.
because they worship the emperor, and it's really
Yeah. And they did that whole thing.
They're also on a lot of drugs.
Is part 1 the one where the Bene Gesserit make Paul put his hand in the box?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember if I've just seen the clip from
But
part 2. Or
what's in the box?
it's a torture thing, but I get the
Not
joke
really.
that you're making.
Not really a torture box.
No, it's kind of is.
No, not really. There's nothing in the box.
Yeah.
It's a
Psychological
psychological
Yeah.
torture.
because she's a witch. And she's making him believe his hand is Yeah, there's nothing because he pulls it out and it's perfectly fine.
Witches ain't shit.
But hoes and tricks, that's fair.
Thank you.
That's fair. That's like the definition.
I wrote this down, but I know the answer now. What's with the red and blue while fighting? Red's when you get hit, blue's whenever you block it.
Yeah. It's whenever your shield blocks it, and then the red is when. Did they explain this in the?
They do explain it at
And
some
then-
point.
and
'Cause that's
then
how I
that-
knew it.
Does he ever explain that when you have to go slow to penetrate the shield?
They explained it in the movie.
Do they? I was wondering if Tyler knew. That's
The soul
That's-
blade penetrates the shield.
So do
Is
you ever
literally
wonder?
a line.
So there's a reason why they don't use guns a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Is because guns travel too fast,
Fast.
and the shields block them. Knife, you can just slowly stick it in them.
I don't
and
remember
penetrate
them
the shield.
ever
That's why.
saying that.
That's why.
but-
For this
Yeah,
advanced,
it's at the
civil-
beginning. He does the knife fight with Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if they
Does he
explained
say
it.
that?
Yeah, it's the
Slow
slow,
nut,
bl-
yeah.
the slow blade that penetrates the shield.
I
believe that's the exact line.
I figured that went over his head.
It really did.
Yeah, that's
But
what
yeah.
it is.
That's why for this advanced civilization with all this technology shit, they're sword fighting.
Yeah. Next up, Jarrett, read this one.
Where we at?
Good.
Good old poison tooth.
Good old poison tooth. Yeah, it's the poison tooth. If
Did you
can't
not expect me to
understand
put some weird voice on that?
No, that's why I asked you to read it specifically. The poison tooth. TOOF.
it's good. It's a good scene,
It was a good scene. It's interesting.
especially if you wanted to see Oscar Isaac naked and
Yeah.
paralyzed
Yeah.
And sweating.
and so
So
sweaty.
sweet.
You know,
Glistening.
this is honestly it's a fantasy of some women's.
Eh,
Yeah, I guess so.
to have Oscar Isaac tied up, not tied up, but like paralyzed,
Paralyzed naked, yeah.
Just have them have their way with them.
Yeah, yeah. And Skarsgård's character seems very weird,
And
Oh,
into
he's-
it.
He's in.
but he is even more weird in the original movie.
Really?
Who plays him in the original movie?
Some dude.
Not
Stellan Skarsgård.
no.
No, I don't remember. I don't remember who it is. Some really gross man. It's what it is.
And while we're talking about that, why the fuck did he have to be naked in that scene?
Because the Harkonnens are weird.
Yeah, they're just
That-
weird.
that's
They're
a
just
good
weird
enough-
people.
Real weird.
That is a good enough explanation for
Wait
me.
till part 2, bud.
It gets so much worse.
They are way weirder in part
Yeah.
2.
Yeah,
We talked about this in the Rebel Moon episode. Why does freedom equal death in every sci-fi movie ever?
because in the long before, in the long ago,
Really
that's
thought-
exactly what it meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to harken back, not Harkonnen, but harken back to
Same
an
root word,
older
hark.
time. Harken back to an older time when that's really what it meant.
Yeah.
Like, feudalism.
Yeah.
I don't know, Rockefeller. Freedom was death.
Yeah. You said the land before, or whatever you said,
In the long ago.
In the long before.
the long before, and I really wanted you to say the land before time, so I could make a dinosaur joke about you.
Like everyone has been on Discord.
Yeah.
I'm not a dinosaur.
You're just a generation away.
They blink sideways. Not a dinosaur.
You try to scratch your back and like, eh.
Oh, something in my eye. Let me get it with my tongue.
I read this.
You read the next one?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh my God.
Chalamet envisions he'll be the gold Power Ranger.
I'm going to assume this is where he has the vision of the
He
future.
has the vision of the future whenever
They're fighting.
they're fighting, and it literally looks like a gold Power Ranger. I liked it. Don't get me wrong.
That scene's not in the second movie at all. I don't think it's going to be in the third movie either. If it is, it'll be like a montage at the
How many
beginning.
movies is this series supposed to be?
Probably 3.
Well, the guy that he kills, the Fremen that he kills, isn't in the second movie either, and he had a vision about him helping him.
That's true.
Yeah, that happens. Jason Momoa gave a heroic sacrifice.
Oh, yeah.
Which is wonderful,
It was awesome.
but it sucks because it means no more Momoa.
Well, about that.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
God damn it.
Oh, that's all I'll say.
I wasn't gonna say nothing.
He back.
I'm
Because
just
it's
gonna
also
stay
not,
quiet.
it's not confirmed that, he'll be back, but he might be back.
But it is the quote future.
Yeah.
So who knows?
How he comes back, it's real weird. I just put like everything in this universe, it's weird.
Well, that's odd.
This will make Ethan mad to have to read it. Read the next one. It starts with them.
Them thopters are tough getting through that desert storm. Thopters are tough getting through that desert storm. Well, the wind speed that they were talking about is it's so dumb.
Wind speed.
Yeah, they were talking about it moving like
I don't remember how fast.
some ridiculous number of kilometers an hour, like 200.
I mean, it looked like it was a rough storm. That's why I wrote them Thopters are
I
tough.
don't remember exactly how many kilometers an hour. It was like 400 kilometers an hour.
Just some like insane number.
Yeah,
like
it was
would just,
dumb.
it would just like rip everything apart.
Yeah, if you were to stand up in it, like with a bare face, it would sandblast your flesh off of your body because of the amount of sand that was in it. That's like I always get bothered by the pod race scene in episode 1 because it's a sandy place with all these other machines kicking up sand everywhere, right? And here is Anakin, a human with human skin, and all he's got for protection is some goggles. Everything around those goggles would have been sandblasted away by all that sand because they were moving at
Maybe that's why he hates sand.
But
Mach 1.
the Force, Ethan.
And it's like there's like a windshield,
Yeah,
but it comes up to his like neck. So it's just like right into his face.
It's actually directing.
It's actually directed into his face, and he's like, yeah. No, the Force doesn't explain that. No,
The Force explains everything.
Yes. The Force.
the Force doesn't explain Jar Jar.
Oh, yeah, it does.
No, we don't.
We never said the Force is perfect.
Yeah.
It makes mistakes, just like my father.
Yeah.
I pointed to me for the audio only listeners,
Well, I don't know
which is
who else you
everybody.
would point to in this room. I don't know what it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you're the only mistake here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you planned?
I have no idea.
I was.
I'll assume.
I believe that. You'll assume yes?
yes.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Well, I was and am a mistake. We know this.
Do you need the nose plug or not? They have them out all the time, specifically.
The Yamas fight.
Yeah.
Do you need them? No. It's there to collect the moisture from your nose, though.
Ah,
It's
okay.
not to protect your nose, it's to protect your moisture.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Thought it was protecting.
So,
the
do
nose.
you need it? No, but they'll be like, it's a waste of the moisture.
Fair enough. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And then they seen that giant worm, and I know the few lines that Zendaya had, she talked about the god worm, whatever the fuck it was called.
What the fuck is it called?
In this movie?
I can't remember
In
what
this
it's called.
movie, yeah, they talked about it.
I can't
Well,
remember
they
what it's
fall
called.
in love or something, so the godworm's got to be.
His dick.
Yeah, that's got to be. It's a. The whole story is
Oh, yeah.
euphemism.
I'm trying to remember what they actually call it. I can't remember.
What?
The
worm god.
worm. Not
Oh,
worm
the
god.
worm god? I don't remember what they're called.
The god worm, whatever the fuck it is.
It's some weird.
Sandworm.
It's some weird
Worm
fucking,
boy.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you,
Anyway, yeah.
but I just
Tharkoon, something like that. Something like that. I don't know.
it's gonna drive me insane that I don't know it.
What big worm thing?
I have seen
Dune.
both movies.
What big worm?
Big worm thing in Dune. What call?
That'll probably get you pretty close.
That
on
will actually get you probably spot on. The
Shai Hulud.
Shai
There you
Hulud.
go.
It did work.
Was that
Wow.
supposed to be Shai Hulud or just a fucking worm?
I don't know.
What worm thing?
There's a spot where Chalamet and Ferguson are running through, and a giant worm comes up and like looks at him.
That
And then
Shai
fucks off.
Hulud is not one worm.
It's their name for the worms, right?
Yeah, but they worship them like deities.
Yeah.
Like, it's
So they
more
worship
like
all of them.
like,
Okay.
think
Yes.
about like animal spirits.
Yeah.
Like they would name the animal spirit, but then all those animals have that one spirit essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense because the way they talked about it, made it sound like it was a singular worm that they worshipped.
It's not just one worm.
Gotcha. That makes more
But we
sense.
do see a giant one.
Yeah, that is the one
It is-
in the
it
first
is
one is
the
also
giant
quite
one.
large.
there is a big one. Yeah, big one.
Always a big boy.
Yeah, big one. Big hole.
I thought Yamas was supposed to help Paul because of his dream.
In a weird way, he does.
He does help him.
In a weird way.
Yeah.
That-
In a roundabout way.
That's what they're trying to get at with the story. Because the story about like having to do with his visions is that the visions aren't like visions and like dreams and stuff don't always mean what they look like.
Yeah.
Though
Prophecy
they
is-
may come true, it may not be in the way that you think or have imagined them to have come true.
The future is fickle.
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth? And then I put, that's how you split a movie into multiples. Looking at you, Spider-Man. Because I'm still angry about whatever Spider-Verse it was.
Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, it ended very shittily. Whereas this one had a perfect stopping point.
Yeah. I wish they'd have done this with the first one. It's so long. It's so long. It's exhausting. But that was back when they were making movies with like, I don't know, intermissions in the middle.
Yeah, this is like what's the one with Heston?
I wish they'd do that. Now,
Charlton Heston?
Yeah, he has
Ben-Hur?
Yeah.
Well, like the ones I can think
That's
of.
the
It's
really-
like Ben-Hur.
that's the really
there's
long
Fiddler
one.
on the Roof. There's Dr. Zhivago, Lawrence of Arabia.
Or is it Lawrence of Arabia where all the horses died? Or is it Ben-Hur?
What
Like-
horse? What?
There was horse. There's like, is it Ben-Hur? There's like a big scene where like they had like a bunch of horses die.
There's
the
the
filming
there's
of-
the chariot
Yeah.
race. Yeah, that's Ben-Hur.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the chariot race.
And a bunch of horses died in that.
In
film-
real life.
in the filming.
In real
of it.
life,
Yeah.
in the filming of it, a bunch of horses died. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they put blades on the wheels, and then the horses running beside it. And
It's
they're like,
fucked up.
they just fucking got hit.
well, that was a long time ago.
That was when horses were like a hot commodity.
Yeah, we had all these horses,
were-
but we
they were-
replaced them with cars.
They're like, shit.
what are we gonna do with these
Look
horses?
at all these cars. God, we got too many horses. What should we do?
Chop them up.
Chop them up.
Chop them up. Make glue.
Yeah, that's how they started McDonald's.
I was saying-
Tasty
I was
McDonald's.
going to say Taco Bell. But
Yeah, I would.
4K no estos.
Now,
You were gonna.
ahead.
You asked how many movies are we gonna get?
yeah, I did.
It'll be 3.
Okay. But it should be 4.
No, it should not be 4. 3 is the max I would go because after. Okay, so this is the first book.
Yeah.
First book is 2 movies,
Yeah.
and then the second book will be 1 movie.
Yeah.
After that, they go downhill real quick, and like in a weird way. It's just weird.
So everybody loves a trilogy.
Yeah.
Everybody loves a trilogy.
Yeah.
Like, look, but if we go too far, look at Pirates of the Caribbean. So the trilogy is fantastic. The next movie, Le Garbage.
It's just, it's not even that they couldn't make it good. It's just weird.
It was weird. The next one after that was fantastic. It's fine, but it's like a standalone little thing. It's fine, but it's not. But it's not at the level. It's even the good one after the trilogy is not at the level. So if they're gonna make one more, that's great. They need to make one more because I know where this story ends, even though
It doesn't end.
it doesn't end.
Yeah, it keeps going.
Yeah.
There's like 5 more books after that.
Jesus.
For the main story.
Gotcha. Now we shall move on to the ratings. First up, Rotten Tomatoes is an 83% tomato meter with 509 reviews and a 90% audience score with 5,000 ratings. I looked that up. It was pretty much spot on for what it was
Yeah,
before.
this is a 3-year-old movie at this point.
Yeah.
Be
Well,
very-
you'd be surprised. There's 100,000 or not 100. Yeah, no, 100,000 more reviews
Yeah.
on IMDb.
It happens a
this
lot
movie.
whenever second movies come out.
Oddly enough, IMDb is still the exact same as what it was 100,000 reviews ago. It's an 8 out of 10. And it is a 74 Metascore with 68 critics. That's still the exact same.
Yeah, could
No
be
more
good.
critics reviewed it. And now we get to move on to ours. Please don't be
Oh,
me.
I have
Please
to
don't be
think- I
me.
have to
Please
think
don't be
about
me. Jarrett.
I have to think.
Oh, you have to think? Well, fuck. It was a 5. Ethan.
8.25.
Damn you.
That is back-to-back 0.25s from you.
Yeah.
Ethan.
8.5.
Don't know why I rolled.
Because you like
Ghost. The Ghost gave it a 3.
You gave it a 3?
No, I said the Ghost gave it a 3.
rolling. Yeah, the Ghost.
I give it an 8. I liked it.
It was good.
It's good. It's solid. It's a deep. It's what's the word? It's a deep cut sci-fi stuff.
Yeah.
So if you're not like a big sci-fi guy, I don't know. I could be like, this is a
This
movie.
is totally accessible for people who aren't into sci-fi, though. Because it's
Yeah,
got Timothy
it's
Chalamet
Well,
and
and
Zendaya.
And it's not
All
like...
those Zoomers can
Okay,
get
you know
into
what?
it,
This
yeah.
one is. After this, I don't know.
Yeah, this one's not... I don't think was like super... I mean, it was sci-fi, but not like
No.
an
It's a
unbearable
desert.
amount.
It's about a desert.
My mother-in-law would say this isn't sci-fi.
Again, I
This is
part 2
traditional
colors
stuff.
part 1 for me, so it's kind of like they're like one story to me. So
Yeah.
but I'm like,
My mother-in-law would say, this is great. I love that it's not sci-fi and shit. Like she said with Venom.
They took the most boring part of the first movie and made it into something enjoyable.
yeah,
Is what it was. That's what this is.
Yeah.
Dune 1 is the first part
of the book
of the book.
where nothing happens pretty much.
And it's so dry.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Not just because it's a desert. It's dry because there's not a lot of content that's actually interesting. But they did a really good job of turning it into something entertaining and dramatic.
yeah. It's basically just Herbert just like world building and
Yeah. And some nice establishing shots.
Yeah.
It was really good.
yeah.
Yep. It was good. Go watch it. Or don't. I don't care. You probably already watched part 1 and
Watch part 1.
probably just like me and waiting on part 2 to come out.
And if you're wondering how well you like it or not, or whether you should watch the rest of it, go watch the original, and you'll realize that this is actually an excellent movie.
Yeah.
If you have problems recognizing whether this is good or not, go watch the original or some old movies, some old sci-fi movies from the 70s and 80s, and you'll see where we're at,
Yeah.
How far we've come.
how far we've come.
How far we have yet
Don't
to
watch
fall.
too many because a lot of them suck.
You said like I don't know. Like
Go ahead and talk.
Star Wars is from the 70s and it still looks good, but I guess that's more of because they were
Star Wars
forward thinking.
Star Wars is
The
an
outlier.
outlier.
It is the outlier.
It is the outlier. It was.
It's not an outlier. It's the outlier.
It was the chosen one.
It is the chosen.
Yeah. Well, it was.
Also ripped off a bunch of the stuff from Dune.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I knew about that. I think we talked about that outside of the podcast
Did
at one point.
Lucas also denies that he did it, but it's kind of like
It's like shot for shot.
not shot.
I
for shot.
don't-
It's
I
just
don't
fun
care.
points.
I don't care. Yeah, sure.
It works.
It works. And it works in his universe better than it does here.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Makes more sense. I think.
All right. Unless we got anything else to mention about the movie.
There's another part. Go. You should watch it.
There's another part.
Another
to watch.
part. If that one does really good, then we get part 3.
And I'm sure it will do well enough because it's
Messiah.
got Timothy Chalamet. So
Shamalama Bing Bong.
thank you guys for listening. We appreciate it. If you made it all the way to the end of that, you're welcome. Because
I'm sorry.
yeah,
I'm
I am
sorry.
so
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, you have tougher skin than I would because I would have stopped listening. But
I probably would have too. Because after
I stopped listening 100 episodes ago. What the fuck are you talking about?
who are you people?
that's just your dementia kicking in.
You dinosaur.
I'm so old.
I'm so old. All right. Thanks for listening. Use the link in the description to find all of our shit. The Discord, the Patreon. Please don't swallow your microphone whole because that's what looks like you're about to start doing. And we'll catch you on the next one.
I'm so old. Who's gonna take me home?
Deuce.
You have to walk, Grandpa.